How's everybody doing today? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, we're gonna talk this. This fight that just went down last night against Rashidi Ellis versus Roiman Villa. Man, what a barn burner, you guys. If you guys didn't watch this fight was a freaking, you know what I mean, for the first 8 rounds, it was Rashidi Ellis's fight. For the first 8 rounds, it was Rashidi Ellis's fight. But I seen in round, I think it was 6 or 7, I seen there was a change in Roiman Villa. I didn't know he had a second and third gear like that. I didn't know he could do something I didn't know he was, you know what I mean? I knew he had that, I believe it was that 24-1 with 23 knockout record. And I went back and checked out some of his fights, and he was actually, they weren't bad fighters, you know what I'm saying? So that record was pretty accurate. It wasn't, just like some fluff. It was some fluff on there, but that's what all fighters. You're going to get that, those gimme fights, or they should be gimme. No fight is a gimme. But as far as this fight goes, you guys, Rashidi Ellis versus Roiman Villa, it was going down. It was a 12-round fight. Rashidi Ellis showed heart and determination, for fighting Roiman Villa, and the same for Roiman Villa. Both guys, and like I said, the first half of the fight was Rashidi Ellis, but the second half was a different pain. I feel like Rashidi Ellis did, his best work in the first 8 rounds. After that, it was Roiman Villa turning up the heat in there, man. And I interviewed Rashidi Ellis's his trainer before the fight, and you guys can look on Corey Lee Boxing on the YouTube and see that I interviewed Alex Rivera, I believe that's his name, and he said that they're firemen, and they were gonna get him out, Roiman Villa out late, but to be honest with you, Roiman Villa in the last and 12th and final bell, Roiman Villa's trainer said, you need to knock him out, and you need to knock him out now. And he made that very, very evident that he needed to knock him out. His fighter needed a knockout to win, and he did. He did. And to be honest with you, he as funny as it sounds, he needed a knock down to win. But he got 2 of them in the 12th round. I feel like he, if he would have got a knockdown, I believe it would have been a draw maybe. Or he might have still won. It just depends. The scoring was, like I said, most of the scoring was going for Rashidi Ellis for the first 8 rounds. But then it changed. One scorecard was 113. The second 2 were 114, 112, and 114, 112. So yeah, man, and in that fight, in that 12th and final round, Rashidi Ellis got dropped twice, definitely hurt, visibly stunned, and you could see the shock on his face, man, when he got knocked down. I mean, he looked like he, was like, what the hell, man, I could have, he's like, I shouldn't be getting hit with stuff like that, and I just knew that, Roiman Villa's a big guy for 147 pounds. Roiman Villa's a big guy for that welterweight division, man. He shows me signs of a Lucas Matisse, type of fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a seek and destroy guy. He's got power, pretty much in both hands. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I like what I see out of him. I really do, man. I like what I see out of Roiman Villa. When he was working the jab in the fight, he was stunning Rashidi Ellis. He was stunning him. He needs to work on the jab a lot more to be able to win this rematch. And yeah, so after being knocked down twice, Rashidi Ellis got back up and he finished the fight. And so when they read the scorecards out, Rashidi Ellis looked shocked. He looked shocked and amazed that this guy actually won the decision. And a lot of people say Rashidi Ellis should have won the decision. I can see where you can see Rashidi Ellis should have won a decision, but if you gave any of those close rounds to Roman Villa in the first 8, then it'll be a tough fight, because I feel like Roman Villa was pretty much, doing good in rounds 8, 9. Well, really, it started in round 7. I say round 7, he did pretty good. Round 8, he did pretty good. He started picking it up in round 9. And I feel like round 10, 11, and 12, it was pretty much Roman Villa's rounds. Those were his rounds. And you guys got to understand it was 2 knockdowns in the last and final round. So that was a 10-7 round, which can sway some of the scorecards if they had a close fight leading up into that last and final round. But as far as Rashidi Ellis goes and where these two fighters go from here on out, I feel like Roman Villa should probably he's in a good spot. His manager looked happy as shit, looked elated, looked like he won the lottery when they announced the decision. And I'm gonna be honest, man, Roman Villa's a live dog in the welterweight division right now. I like what I've seen. He's a big, powerful welterweight. He looks strong for this weight division. You could just tell, man, Roman Villa was not stopping. If anything, he got better later in the fight, which is dangerous. Man. Which is very dangerous. If he knew he could do that to Rashidi Ellis in the 12th and final round, how do you think he'll do the rematch? And not only that, I love what I heard out of Roman Villa when he said, let's just go ahead and do the rematch. He said, I got Mexican. He says, I got Mexican balls. Pretty much stating that he was pretty much saying like, I got big kahunas. I'm here for the best fights. And I want this fight again. He's pretty much saying like, if people thought it was a close fight, let's run it back. And I mean, him just being so willing to do the rematch, man, speaks volumes. Some guys would be like, I got a gift decision or I got a real close decision, and I'm gonna just go ahead and pack my bags up and I'm gone. I'm not coming back to DC, or I'm not coming back to fight Rashidi Ellis. But no, he was like, I'll do it again. I'll run it back. And he said it before he even, before Rashidi Ellis was even interviewed. Roman Villa was actually, heavily asking for the rematch. So the rematch, man, is gonna be a barn burner. I'm marking it down on my calendar. Rashidi Ellis needs to make a couple more. I feel like he needs to make some slight adjustments. Being late in the fight too, he needs to make adjustments. And let's be honest, Rashidi Ellis hasn't been in the ring in a while, and he's been, he's not even in the ring, but he's been, I feel like he's been inactive, in his career, over time, and that can hurt you. That can hurt you later in the fight. You can tell his legs weren't all the way there later in the fight. And it's been, almost, I guess, 6 months since Rashidi Ellis fought, and he fought a guy that was 13-10. This guy right here was way levels above the guy he fought last time. And then he fought Alex Rocha, but he hasn't fought Alex Rocha in a tough fight like that since 2020. Since October of 2020. Almost Halloween night. And some of the judges had even that fight close to Alex Rocha fight. Alex Rocha beat and I believe stopped the Flair Cobb. But yeah, man, right now I feel like Rashidi Ellis needs to go back to the drawing board. Him and his trainer need to, really, really, maybe start sparring 15 rounds, because this is going to be a long, grueling fight. I don't feel like Roman Villa is going anywhere. And I don't feel like, Rashidi Ellis has the one-punch power to just knock him out and get rid of him. Anything can happen in boxing, but Roman Villa was pretty much not taking no for an answer. He kept coming. And so when you're a fighter like that, And, you got a fighter that's still coming all the way in the 12th round. Not only are you coming, you're coming even harder in the 12th round than you've done in any other rounds. That does something to your psyche. And not only that, when the fight was over, he immediately wanted to run it back. The Roman Villa did. So that just showed he wanted to fight, but he wanted to run it back. That just shows me, man, this guy is ready, man. And I just think it was an awesome fight, man. It was an awesome fight. Rashidi Ellis doesn't need to hold his head down about nothing. He fought a game. Them Colombians, man. I knew he wasn't Mexican. I just didn't know exactly where he was from. He has almost like a Marcos Madonna type of vibe with him. I feel like a Marcos Madonna type of Marcos Madonna, Lucas Matisse type of vibe to him. He keeps coming. He's a strong, determined fighter. And like I said, I don't know who he lost to. He had one loss, and it was a split decision loss to Marcos Villasana. So he had a split decision loss to Marcus Villasana. So that guy was 23-6. So yeah, man, other than that, man, he's been winning, been knocking guys out. He's been knocking guys out ever since that split decision loss he got. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of his last 7 fights, out of his 6 fights, 5 of those were knockouts. Okay, and this is his 7th fight, and he still knocked down. But even in his unanimous decision win that he had in 2022 against Boca Chaka, excuse me if I'm butchering his name. He was 17-0. He fought him in Atlantic City in 2022 in September. Just a couple months ago. He fought him in 2022 in September 9th. But it says Boca down in round 2 and deducted 1 point for spitting out his mouthpiece. Wow. So not only did, man, this guy has power. Just straight up. Any guy that he's been in the ring with in the last 7 fights, he's knocked down or either stopped. So he's hurt him. The guy, that record is for real. That record is for real. And I didn't know if that record, how real that was, because I didn't hear about a lot of these fighters that he's fought, but his last couple opponents were, 20-1, 19-5, 13-6, 17-0, and 24-0. He's got, he's been in there with a couple good guys. I will say that. A lot of his fights been in Colombia. But, like I said, Rashidi Ellis doesn't need to hold his head down about anything. It was a good, tremendous back and forth battle. I know Rashidi Ellis doesn't like battles like that. He wants to just, you don't get paid for overtime. He wants to just get his win and go home. This wasn't like that. You needed to bring your fucking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This was a barn burner. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think, man. This was a very intriguing matchup. It definitely went down to the last and final bell. I feel like if it was a 15-rounder, dare I say Roman Villa could have possibly got Rashidi Ellis out of there? Possibly. You just never know, man. You never know. We would never know. But, in a 12-round fight, man, Roman Villa, used every inch, every ounce of him to try to come away with this victory, and he finally did. He got the upset victory. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Can Rashidi Ellis win the rematch? Do you think Roman Villa is just a little bit too much for Rashidi Ellis? And who do you think will benefit in a rematch? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Please smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, you guys. Peace.